Going on to you, Taurus. So you, Taurus, actually have the Eight of Swords, the Temperance, and the Eight of Cups. That's my dog over there, just in case if you're wondering what that noise is. But the Eight of Swords and the Temperance and the Eight of Cups, right, really speaks to... Hold on a second. Come here, my love. Come here. All right. Okay, so sorry about that. Just let my dog come down off the bed, get some water, do what she want to do. But anyway, so the Eight of Swords, the Temperance, and the Eight of Cups is all about how you, Taurus, ultimately are finally going to get back on out there and date. A lot of you, Taurus, took a minute. The Eight of Swords, the Eight of Swords is about you felt restricted. You may have even restricted yourselves, not wanting to really make any kind of real decisions as far as trying to get to know anybody, because you don't want to come off really crazy, right? Like, you know how y'all know how crazy people look when they get themselves out of a connection and then they try to jump into a new connection, and they didn't even take the time to really deal with their own emotional baggage. They look crazy. They look real crazy. You know what I'm saying? They look real crazy. The Temperance and the Eight of Cups is about how you've gained some further insight in on yourself, and you realize that, you, Taurus, you've had to work over certain things. And a lot of you, Taurus, realize that that's what it is that you need to be spending. Even though you're looking, you're still going to actively be spending time to work on that particular problem and the problem is moving too quickly when it comes to like wanting love, right? Like wanting love and not necessarily listening to your own instincts when it comes to taking things a little bit more slowly, right? And I don't want to say this, but it is what it is. The desperation, as far as like, see, the older the Taurus gets, right? And again, I'm not going at you. I'm just keeping it 100, right? The older the Taurus gets, is the more desperate a lot of them become. As far as when it comes to love, and like a lot of times, like it is, I say with Sagittarius, a lot of times you Taurus can end up getting played because y'all want love. You know what I mean? Y'all want love. Y'all want people to be in a relationship with you, and there's nothing wrong with that. But what is wrong with that is the idea that you're willing to let certain people, you're willing to roll the dice when it comes to letting certain people play games with you, in the sense that you're willing to find out later if it's a game, as long as there's a chance that it could be real, but just get you in a relationship as soon as possible. And the thing about it is that that's something that you had to address within yourself, and that you're learning to move away from. The Two of Swords and the Queen of Swords now is about, because you Taurus are realizing that all it's going to do is do this, the Two of Swords. It's just going to make you more blinded. Look at the Two of Swords and the Eight of Swords. Look at these two. You notice how it is that you realize that you went from one blind spot to another. A lot of you Taurus are realizing that you can't do that. You can. I mean, y'all are grown people. Y'all can figure it out for yourselves. You're going to do whatever it is that you want to do. At the end of the day, y'all are grown. But the point that I'm trying to make here is it's not wise for you, Taurus, to do that, because the Queen of Swords, people will take advantage. People will look to take advantage. And the thing about it is that the Queen of Wands and the Four of Swords now is about, so you Taurus are realizing that because of the fact that you can't do that, it's not wise for you to do that. You're going to have to be more conscious or aware, right, of what's happening around you, and where other people are going as far as what they're all about. But I told y'all the tools. I gave y'all the tools on what it is that you need to do. You need to ask them questions. You need to spend time hanging out with them. You need to really find out their core values by asking them questions, right? And when you hang out with them, you need to observe, right? If they have core values. You need to pay attention to the things that they say at first. You need to, all the way up to date, all the way as you're dating them, you need to pay attention to whether or not this person is trying to get you to jump through a lot of hoops in order to do so. Because that in on itself lets you know if a person is worth your time. Because if the person is trying to get you to jump through all these hoops, regardless of whether or not they're picking up the phone, is irrelevant. You still got to leave them alone. But the Knight of Wands represents, because it'll always be this level of fascination in games that's being played. The idea of they don't want to get right to hang out with you and to create any kind of real relationship. They just want to be on struggle love. And you, Taurus, would really be surprised at how many people around on this planet are really on struggle love. Most people are actually, if I'm keeping it 1,000%, 1,000,000%, most people on the planet are actually in struggle love, because they talk so much about how they don't want struggle love, but then at the same time they struggling with a person that has terrible character. And no matter how many and no matter how many times this situation comes up, the idea of people ignoring the things that they should be going after for things that they want is the thing that's getting them. Ultimately the idea that you should be going after character first, but then people do not pay attention to that. What you have is the Empress and the High Priestess. These two cards right here are all about how they always, like I said, they always look past what it is that is actually just and right, just so that they could go with what's exciting because it's trendy. And the High Priestess now represents Taurus, right? You. So I suggest a lot of you Taurus learn how to kind of go Sigma with it, in the sense of be a little bit more secretive, right, than you usually are. And just learn to just observe the people that you talk to, and talk, of course. But I mean it from the perspective of, like, wherever it is that you go there with a purpose, you know, and have some sort of particular purpose. A lot of times people who are lost, they don't have a purpose as to why it is that they be doing what it is that they doing. So they just roam around all day, right? You Taurus shouldn't be like that. So let's clarify the High Priestess to kind of give you some more clarity as to what it is that I'm talking about. So to clarify the High Priestess, as I was cutting the cards, I divided the deck into two parts, and then the High Priestess came up as one of the cards that I cut that was shown. But anyway, so you have the Hierophant, which is Taurus anyway, the Knight of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Five of Pentacles. Right. Listen to your own gut. A lot of you Taurus have enough intelligence, it's not like you Taurus are stupid people. It's just that a lot of y'all, what gets y'all into problems is a lot of you Taurus don't really listen to y'all gut about situation. And that's something, a bull and a cow, if I'm not mistaken, has like 4 or 5 different stomachs. So definitely listen to your gut, listen to your instincts is what I'm trying to say. If you hanging out with a person and the person, something don't necessarily seem right because the things that they're saying and they're doing don't match up with the character that they're trying to portray, it's definitely time for you to dub them and bounce. The Knight of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles, because you're supposed to want love, and the things that the Five of Pentacles is, you're not going to be able to get it with the indecent individual that's running game on you in the first place.